Why are you so afraid of gender equality?
I'm not. You are. What I'm afraid of is gender inequality, which is what feminists are actually pushing for. You want examples? In 2005, Swedish politician and co-founder of feminist initiative Gudrun Schyman proposed what the media called a man tax, which would have raised taxes for men in Sweden, basing it on the idea that all men should be held accountable for all man-on-woman violence. It should be noted that Schyman was convicted of tax evasion in 2004, a year before making this proposal. In 2010, women's group leaders in Israel have unanimously opposed changes to rape laws that would make it possible for women to be convicted of rape. They succeeded, and now women in Israel who commit sex acts on non-consenting adults or children who are not old enough to legally give informed consent are not actually charged with rape, and are instead charged with lesser crimes. In 2013, Indian feminists successfully pressured the Indian government to rewrite rape laws in such a way that only men could be charged with rape. In 2014, Jessica Valenti published an article in The Guardian advocating paying men less than women. In 2015, York University planned to hold an International Men's Day meant to highlight issues affecting men and boys, such as the high suicide rate, shorter life expectancy, and struggles faced in getting an education. It was cancelled after feminist students, staff, and alumni protested and held a petition to ban it, which received almost 200 signatures. To add insult to injury, Holly Baxter wrote a condescending article on independent.co.uk enlightening readers why we don't need an International Men's Day. You can claim the definition of feminism is advocating gender equality all you want, but actions speak louder than words. And it's really hard to believe that the feminist movement is really a movement for equality when you dismiss anyone who brings up men's issues as misogynists. You say all men are rapists, you try to ban men from certain places on college campuses, you actively fight against fathers' rights, undermine the presumption of innocence when it comes to rape accusations, and you deny statistics about male victims of domestic abuse, as well as protest and disrupt conferences about male suicide.
This is what men's rights look like! This is what men's rights look like! This is what men's rights look like!
All that said, why are you so afraid of gender equality?
Why aren't you speaking up when you hear your male friends behind closed doors make jokes that are offensive to women?
Because the jokes and the art meant to be taken seriously.
These people who are fucking offended by rape jokes don't even understand humor.
If that's not a good enough answer, then let me ask you this. Do you speak up when your female friends make jokes that are offensive to men? No? Why not? Oh, because it's empowering, right? Fuck off. So I thought you said you were probably funnier than me. You think of yourself as a funny woman, but you don't want people making jokes that don't cater to your own personal taste? Stop trying to police other people's speech, you empty-headed bimbo.
Why are you so afraid of recognizing your own privilege? Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Just recognize it and do something about it.
I just love how you boldly assert that I have privilege without backing up that assertion at all, and then proceed to talk down to me in this condescending tone like it's just so obvious it's such an unassailable argument. It doesn't mean that you are a bad person, but I guess being the same gender as Donald Trump does. To answer your question, it's because I don't have privilege. I really don't. But you do. I defy you to name one, just one, legal privilege that I have which you don't also have, because I can think of several you have which I don't have. Let me list 10. Women are almost always granted custody of children in a divorce by default unless the man can prove she is unfit to care for them. See Misrepresentation of Gender Bias Committee of Massachusetts Supreme Court by Mark B. Rosenthal. This is despite the fact that children are twice as likely to be abused by their mother than they are by their father, according to page 49 of Child Maltreatment 2013, published by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Women have more social safety nets designed for them, which is why they only make up 24% of the homeless population. This is in spite of the fact that 42% of homeless men are employed versus only 27% of homeless women. This is according to page 2 of Who is Homeless, published by the National Coalition for the Homeless, July 2009, and page 1 of Single Males, The Homeless Majority, published by Healing Hands in June 2001. Women get more lenient sentences for equivalent crimes. See Estimating Gender Disparities in Federal Criminal Cases by Sonia B. Starr, 2012. A woman could get a male coworker fired from his job simply by accusing him of sexual harassment even without proving it. It's so easy for a woman to get a man fired out of malice, and it happens so often that men are now starting to avoid women altogether in the workplace, refusing to mentor or help them. Kim Elsesser talks about this in her book Sex in the Office, 2015. In California, a woman can declare a man to be the father of her child and sue him for child support, and it's up to the man to prove that he isn't the father by taking a DNA test, and he only gets 30 days to do so. If he doesn't do it in that time, then a court can declare him responsible for the child, even if he proves he isn't the father later. A woman can sue a sperm donor for child support. A woman who gets pregnant with stolen sperm can sue the man she stole it from for child support. And before you argue that a man should keep it in his pants if he doesn't want to be a father, imagine if you heard a conservative Christian arguing against abortion by saying women should keep their legs together if they don't want to be mothers. I think you would lose your shit. A woman who gets pregnant by raping a man or an underage boy can sue him for child support. See Hermesman vs. Sayer. A woman can get an abortion in complete disregard for the wishes of the father. She doesn't even have to tell him she's seeking an abortion. A woman can also sue the father for child support if he wants nothing to do with the child. So basically, a woman can opt out of parenthood, but a man cannot. Domestic violence against women is actually taken seriously. Men are always presumed to be the aggressors in domestic violence cases, despite the fact that CDC statistics have found that more than 70% of non-reciprocated domestic violence is perpetuated by women. Even when a man is recognized as being a victim of abuse, he is almost always presumed to be at fault. People ask, what did he do to piss her off? So let me pose a question to you. Why are you so afraid of recognizing your privilege? It doesn't mean you are a bad person, just recognize it and do something about it. Or don't. I already know you won't.